Hey, how's it going there? This is Brennan. Okay, so I got the story. Nikola Tesla leaves his home, and his three big sisters comes to Thomas Edison in America, the where Thomas Edison's a historical citizen. His grandparents are all born there, and Edison also has three big sisters, but he doesn't know it. He thinks, "Oh, who's this chump coming into the office?" And Tesla's got like 5 cents. Okay, and he's really intelligent, and yeah, he thinks he's a chump. Okay, he doesn't. He's like, who is this alien in my country? With this accent and whatever. Um, okay, and Tesla sort of has the vision, but the world goes to war nevertheless. Okay, and the wrong kind of rockets are fired. They're not bringing in more super intelligent aliens, but they're sort of causing destruction. Okay, this is what happens. Thomas Edison, uh, he's running the show. Okay, he doesn't need real competition, and maybe he thinks he's going to be jinxed or something like that. It's just because it's an immigrant, he allows this. Okay, I'm doing some environmental research, just omnipresent for me. So, in San Diego or say Hawaii or most tropical places, if you walk on the beach, as your foot hits the sand or your shoe or whatever how you're walking, typically the sand goes burp burp burp. It makes this barking sound, but you can't call it barking sands because that's like this a missile launch site, the wrong kind of missile, I think. Um, so, anyways, I'm in Hawaii, and the beaches are not barking, and I'm I don't know if it's like if I've been like respiratory chronic the modern day sickness, but I sense that the oceans are now acidic, and the beaches are perhaps acidic as well. Not the oceans, but the air. Okay, the reefs we know are dying, and we know that the global pollution has sort of plateaued for many years. There's just vast consumption of fossil fuels, and so algorithmically, I think there are solutions to this to say the ship should just simply travel much slower, and simply put a tax on the product that rises soon. Like someone says, "Oh, I'm going to bring the stuff in like at high speed because I got this really cheap fuel. I just get it from this cheap third world country. They sell me this fuel. I don't care about the environment that's behind me. The ship captain, like the guy driving down the road, or the whoever, wherever, whatever non-peaceful missiles you are firing, um, and think about the ones coming from the first world, like Tesla, okay? Because America wasn't the first world originally. It was like the primitive of all. It was, and yet it's still out there. There still is the accessible frontier is still um, the vulnerable. It's okay. So the thing is, okay. So Tesla coming to America is sort of like someone growing up on the West Coast without any European connections. Okay, this is a little difficult to explain, um, but there's no case studies, zero. Okay, this is how you do science. You look for the examples, and and they're all George Washington. Okay, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and there are this list of wars. So the question is, do you want war? Do you want the environment just that's behind me? We're just selling sort of selling the planet, because this other planet. I found this planet and I decided to sell it. They didn't notice, they didn't care, um, and so maybe Tesla was a chump, or maybe uh, Thomas Edison's vision of eugenics was the ultimate corruption. This and this is Henry Ford and whatever Kellogg's or something. I don't know all the most famous characters, but what's the ultimate peaceful payload that you can carry? The one that is happens like like as fast as the analogies are vague and, and and a little systematic, but I'm blind. I don't know what they're talking about. And yet, then it's a domestic situation because that's sort of like you fall in love. Adam and Eve had a baby, and it was like like to the moon, I guess. And it wasn't from San Francisco though. This is the ultimate equation. That if you're actually planning to get there, the peace part to whatever planet that it is, whatever prosperity, whatever condition, the environment intact or otherwise. So let's see here. I'm laying on my back here. So the environment. I got this on full high speed. Okay, I can think, but I have no notes. I was taking notes for many years, and then when I started communicating, people said, chump, let's destroy this guy's environment, this guy with his planet and his peaceful intentions. Okay, these dynamic games, K-pop. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? Okay. I don't know how to joke. I'm Western. I'm Irish American, like JFK. Who isn't allowed to hang out with Frank Sinatra because he's cursed or something along those lines. And Jim Morrison, nobody knows. We go to the Vietnam War, and they're firing the wrong kind of devices with buttons. One not good. So, and I'm trying to juggle all this. This is very difficult, very, very difficult, and yet it is potentially quite a lot of fun to get it right, to be the hero, the savior, who will take over your heart. Okay, I will take over everything. This is like this is the problem with religion. People are afraid that God will take over, and the media just thinks, well, if there's a war after our movie, as long as we make money, who cares about the war? This is what some people might think. They think, well, yeah, if you go to Hollywood and you find a local person who actually grew up there, like George Washington, who's got a little sister, grows up in a diverse community, whose parents are from a different time. GPS was invented when he was a boy, and his big brother's father and grandfather, and I guess his uncles, all who were a paternal local uncle. Okay, so this is a statistic of unification of the United States. Okay, without being pedantic. But this is history, and this is how people, what their intentions become ultimately. What the social ecology is. How do you make sense? How do you understand if there is the local genius or indeed the immigrant genius or sort of the systematic understanding of ultimate reality of without being deranged. Because let me tell you, if you grew up in the Silicon Valley, okay, and your parents are American and so George Washington grew up before GPS, and so in a sense, like, time changed for one time. It was a one-time change, $1 bill. It only happened once. GPS was invented in the mid-1700s, and it quickly made the world knowable. You could sail a ship through the night and not run into the land. Okay, you would know exactly where you are without even leaving your cabin, just like with the internet. Okay, and so this didn't exist, but space has changed. So Chesapeake Bay, which was the accessible frontier until the commodities started feeding the Industrial Revolution, which is incidentally the main culprit in climate change, and sort of just going for it and saying, that's behind me, not my problem, or that's in front of me, that's impossible, okay, like calling peacefully colonizing another planet. You know what I mean? Or getting it right, or being graceful at all. If you are from the frontier. So this is again like Tesla, and Tesla, you know, the guy, he talks like this, but only out of desperation. Okay, thank you. Um, so that's it. And so if you don't understand this time space continuum, the social fabric, and the rifts and the ends of the fabric, there's like wings or something like that, the magic carpet, whoo, some fancy sort of puppet show where you're slinging the cats, you know, and they're peaceful cats, meow. Okay, and not Robin Williams insane. Okay, it's, close, but I'll have to smoke a few cigars tonight. But I quit. Let's see, so that's it. That's the plan. Is to find this case study and to tell the media that this is the element of salvation that the world actually needs. Okay, they don't want it because, you know, the power, they lose the power, the corruptible sort of fantasy. Okay, so you want a real civilization, and that's worth a whole lot. Yes, my neck hurts. Anyways, it'll be good.